Hello everyone. Today we're going to be using the web application TinkerCAD to make a simple 3D shape. It's going to be a text object, and I will include a link to the TinkerCAD website in the description, so you should be able to get to it fairly easily, but it's really simple to get to. It's just tinkercad.com. And before I start with TinkerCAD, I always take a bit of time and make sure that everyone understands the terminology that we're using. So tinker is an English word. It's an English verb, which I will show you the official definition. It basically means to play around with something, to experiment, to repair something, kind of by messing around with it. So this is really the official definition right here. This is the one I'm talking about: to repair, adjust, or experiment with. A good example sentence might be: the auto mechanic tinkered with the old engine to try to get it to work. Or the computer technician was tinkering with the hard drive to try to install it in a computer, right? Something like that. So tinkering means to kind of, make something by playing around with it. Or fix something by playing around with it. And CAD, we're talking about TinkerCAD, right? The CAD in CAD is an acronym which stands for Computer Aided Design. And this kind of gives you a brief overview. You guys can look that up yourself on Wikipedia if you'd like. But basically, it's the use of computers to create things, to create designs for different objects and different things. Usually in 3D. It doesn't have to be, but usually it's in 3D. This is kind of an example of the CAD process at work. Each step is being done with a computer, and an object starts with a very simple shape, and it becomes a more sophisticated shape that you might see in a toy or in some kind of consumer product or something like that. But anyway, that's the basic idea, and you can see all the dimensions and stuff are given. TinkerCAD isn't that complicated. In fact, it's a lot easier to use than Blender, which I think everyone at this point has used. You don't have to worry about remembering different key commands or anything else. It's all very graphical user interface. It's not as powerful as Blender and some other programs. You can't make movies, you can't make animations or photorealistic pictures with it. But you can make very simple models or even complex models very easily with TinkerCAD. And that's what we're going to be doing today. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to create an account. And the way we do that is we go to tinkercad.com and we click the big white Join Now button on the top right. And that lets us start here. Now, we could do this a different way. We could actually use one of the academic accounts, but we're not going to do that. I'm going to have you guys create a personal account, and you're going to link it to your Google Colegio Lumen account. So you're just going to click create a personal account. So click the third choice down here. Click this darker blue rectangle, and you're going to click in. Don't type in your email. Just click sign in with Google. Now, I've actually signed in. I already have an account, so I can't record this a second time without, I guess, deleting my account. So what I've done is I've actually created a new account. So we have to pretend that this is my Colegio Lumen account, right? So this is the one. It would normally be Colegio Lumen. Yours should say your name at colegiolumen.edu.py, right? But in my case, I'm just going to use my own personal account. But once again, you guys should use your Colegio Lumen educational accounts just to keep everything together and to avoid account confusion, because sometimes that can happen. So use your Colegio Lumen accounts. So it says by clicking on this, you agree to the terms. This is just for promotional email, spam, basically. I don't need to do that. If you want, notifications by email, you can, but I just click continue. And once I've done that, I get to a new page in which I can then begin modeling, begin designing. So the first thing is you can take a tutorial if you'd like, which is never a bad idea. You can click Let's Go and see how it is that this works. And this is really what I'm going to be showing you today anyway. And then we'll get into creating a model. So once it loads in, you'll see that there's a work plane, which looks like math graph paper. If you've ever made graph paper in math class, this is what you'd use, which is useful for the dimensions and seeing how things fit together. So basically, it says we're going to go through the tutorial here. The first thing we do is we learn how to move shapes along the work plane, which is really easy. All you have to do is click a shape, right? And then all of these things kind of come up, the corners. You can change it. I'm going to actually do the tutorial just so you can see how it is step by step. So it says just drag the light brown construction to the area outlined in orange. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take this and we're going to click it and drag it like this to inside that, just like that. Okay, so now it's inside. So let's see what the next step is. Click. Congratulations, you did it. Okay, great. So this is how basically you move shapes around. The next thing we can do is camera controls, which is never a bad idea as well. If you want to change the view, there's two ways to do it. You can either use the control key and hold that down as you click the mouse and move around the mouse, or you can use this icon on the top here. I guess I'll quickly do the tutorial so that you can see how this works. So camera controls, you learn to check out designs by changing the view. So we're going to, again, I'm skipping through this kind of quickly, but this is the view cube right here. This is what they're talking about. And just drag anywhere in the view cube and you can see how I can move everything around. It's labeled as well, so we can see the front, the back, the sides, and I guess Elvis is sitting there. Wow, I didn't even know that. Okay, so Elvis is hiding behind the curtain. And if you click on top, right, it goes to the top. If you click on front, it goes to the front. If you click on these as well, you get the idea. You can click on the sides by clicking on the arrows, right, whatever the next one is. Thank you very much. Anyway, this is how that works. And zoom, obviously, I have a trackpad, so I use my my pinch. I can pinch zoom, right? Pinch in and pinch out to zoom. If you have an iPad or another tablet, you can do, or your phone, right? Any phone, you can do the same thing. By the way, this works on all devices. That's the beauty of having a web app. All devices work, computers and mobile devices alike. But you use the scroll wheel. If you're using a PC, you would use your wheel, the scroll wheel, to zoom in and out. And again, once you've done that, you can use the control key, hold the control key down, and click and drag the mouse around, and you get the exact same effect. So you can do the same thing that you've just done with the view cube if you hold down the control key and hold the left mouse button and move your mouse around. And again, I'm using a trackpad. I have a laptop, but it's the same effect. Okay, so great, we did that as well. And I guess Elvis can now leave the building. And that's it. Okay, so we know how to view, we know how to change the view, we know how to move something around, and I'm going to show you how to do the next shape. Now, the next tutorial is creating holes, and I may show you that a little bit later. We're not going to do that just yet. We're going to exit lesson right now, so you can click on this this box right here, click exit lesson, and I like to start creating a shape because I think you know roughly what you need to know for the next part. So we're going to load in our main interface now. There's going to be a little button that says start creating, and we have to click that. So the best thing to do after you see this screen is to just click on your profile picture here and click on this big plus button here that says new. And that should allow you to open a new window, which lets you make your first 3D model, your first shape. So again, we have our blank screen. We know how to move things around. And I'm going to move myself over here a little bit because it's hard to see my shapes as I'm talking in front of them. But basically, these are the basic shapes that TinkerCAD lets you use, and you can use the scroll wheel to scroll these shapes to see the other shapes at the bottom, or you can use this scroll bar here if you'd like. And anything that you see in gray stripes, those are holes, and I'll talk about those a little bit later. That's how to make a hole in the solid shape. But let's not worry about that just yet. What we're going to do today is we're going to go down to text, and you can actually favorite some of these shapes. If you know that there are some common shapes that you use all the time, you can click the star on the top right hand side, and the next time you want to use it, if you go down to your favorites here, that will be the only shape that shows up. And as you add more to your favorites, the other ones will show up as well. But we don't really need to do that because there's not all that many shapes. So we're just going to go back to basic shapes. Again, go to our text. And the way to add shapes to the work plane is very easy. All you need to do is click, drag. So I'm not letting go of my mouse. I'm holding my mouse down the whole time. I drag and I release my mouse button roughly where I want it on the work plane, just like that. And there it is. There's my text. This is sort of the properties window here that we can use to adjust the properties of our shape, which in this case is a text object. So what we're going to do is first we're going to change the name of this to say our first name. So I'm going to use my Spanish alias, Roberto. And I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to change the color. You can change it to whatever color you'd like. Be original. I'm going to choose I guess a dark blue. That's kind of a teal blue color, I guess. And you can actually change the distances, change the width, the height, and the depth by moving around these dots here, and you can rotate it by clicking and dragging around this double arrow anytime you see a double arrow. But let's not do that right now. I want to keep this simple for the very first project. And all you're going to be doing is you're going to be changing the height to 3. So you're going to be compressing it. You're going to be flattening it. So that's only 3 units high. Right? So if I press 3 here, you can also use the slider, but I prefer using the numbers so you can get the exact amount. We're not going to worry about bevel. Bevel is really making the edge, rather than a 90-degree angle on the edge, you're basically kind of cutting it so it's a 45-degree angle. That's useful if you're making if you're making a consumer item. You don't want your customers cutting themselves on a sharp edge, so you can bevel it. But let's leave the bevel at 0 for now, and we're going to increase our segments to 5. That should be enough. That increases the resolution in our 3D model. And the last thing I'm going to show you in this particular exercise is how to change the name of your document. You just click this in here. It automatically generates a random name. Amazing Jofo. Yours will say something different. I guess they're trying to be cute, but anyway. So I'm just going to call this Roberto name plate, because that's what we're making. We're making a name plate that we're going to be pasting somewhere else. This is really for the people with Lens Studio, but the code.org people, of course, can do this part of the exercise as well, even if they can't use it as a name plate. You're still going to be doing what I'm going to show you next, which is to export. Go to the top right here and click export. And you guys are going to choose GLTF. That's a specific file type, which in this case works the best with Lens Studio. I've tried the other ones. You can use OBJ, object, and object file as well, but this one works the best. So we're going to stick with GLTF, and click that, and it should automatically generate a download, and download that to your downloads or your descargas folder. If you want to see what it looks like, you can open that up, and it should be contained right here. And in my case, I have 2 because I did it just previously. But I have 2 files now that say Roberto nameplate, and they end in a .glb. Make sure your file ends in a .glb. That means it's in the correct format, and you'll be set for the next step, which is to use it in Lens Studio, at least for those that have and can run Lens Studio. And that's it for now. Hope you've enjoyed the lesson. We'll see you guys in the next class.